Hi, yogis. I'm Samantha. This is Balancing Act. I'm going to do a 10-minute beginner flow for whether you're intermediate or beginner. This is going to be a good way just to slow it down, review it a little bit, and get some basic poses in. Okay, come to the front of your mats. Let's start with Tadasana. Let's press our big toes into the mat, nice and strong. Your big toes are together, your heels are just slightly apart. And we're just going to lift up our bodies nice and tall and bring our hands to heart center, namaste. Just lengthen the back of your neck just a little bit by dropping your chin as well. Inhale the arms up nice and high and reach. Now, as you're reaching, you're going to drop your shoulders. Pretty much in every pose, as you're reaching in one direction, you're going to be pulling in another so that you have polarity and things moving in opposite directions. So this is your first example of that. Your shoulders are dropping as your hands are reaching. And just exhale it down and just come into a nice loose forward fold. I want you to separate your feet hip distance apart and just let your head kind of fall. Bend your knees as much as you need to. I like to interlace my hands and my elbows for a little bit of a weight and just rock side to side. Now, more than a stretch here, you may be feeling your head is about to explode because you're not used to being upside down. Now, that's totally normal and it's good for you. I don't want you to go too far, like you feel like you're going to pass out, but we want to get accustomed to our head being upside down and the blood flowing into our head and feeling that pressure. It's very healthy to reverse the flow of blood and oxygen in our bodies. And not only that, it does a wonderful job at reversing the aging process because for once we have gravity working in our favor. Drop your hands and just take a little stroll to the back of your mat with your feet only. Your hands are going to stay at the front of your mats and you're going to land in your down dog position. Now your feet are parallel and about hip distance apart. Your hands are shoulders width apart as well. And the things I want you to focus on here is really pressing down through the base of your fingertips and moving your heels toward the floor. Your heels probably won't touch the floor, and that's totally fine. You'll feel a beautiful stretch down the back of your legs, and we can just start pedaling it out here. If you find that your shoulders are creeping up to your ears and you're wearing your shoulders as earrings, I want you to pull them back and down. Your hands are rolling to the outside of your pinkies, so press down to the base of your index finger to counter that. Awesome. And then drop down to your knees. We're going to come into some cat-cows, just big C curves here. You're going to arch your back and round your back. So stick your tail up, and we're just going to move our spine in this vertical direction, just bending it back and forth, lubing it up. And then if you want to go a little bit crazy, you can move your head and you can start to move your whole torso in some different directions. Whatever works for you here. The cat-cow itself is simply back and forth this way. Awesome. So let's do a couple of bird dogs where you are going to plant your right knee and plant your left hand and just extend your right arm and your left leg back behind you. This is one of those times where you're going to feel that polarity. Imagine that somebody's grabbing your right hand and grabbing your left foot and pulling you in opposite directions. Okay? And again, the shoulder not creeping up to your ear. Open it up. Now I want you to just drag your elbow to your knee, nice and slow, and extend it out again. Elbow to knee, extend. Elbow to knee, extend. And drop it down. Beautiful. Let's switch sides. Right leg comes up. Imagine somebody's got that foot and they're pulling it to the back wall. And somebody's got your hand and they're pulling your hand to the front wall. Make sure your right shoulder is not up by your ear. And elbow to knee. Elbow to knee. Elbow to knee. Beautiful. And drop it down. Press back into that down dog. And then just walk your feet forward. to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. And then roll it up one vertebrae at a time. Just rolling it up nice and slowly back to your standing pose. Very good. Hands come to heart center. Inhale the hands up. Circle them around and touch. And then forward fold. Again, keep your legs as bent as you need. Your right leg is going to step back. And then you're just going to drop to your right knee. A nice little gentle lunge here. Sweep the hands up nice and high and touch if they touch. Again, you don't want to be on a tightrope here because you will probably start to fall over. And then drop the hands on either side. Very good. Now take your left foot, bring it all the way back. Meet me in your down dog. And then come into your plank. So this is called chaturanga plank. And you have done this before because it's a normal plank position. And I want you to drop to your knees, drop to your chin, and then your chest. And then slide your body forward as your feet come to the mat and pull your body up into a cobra position. The back of your neck is nice and long. You have a little bit of a back bend here, and you're opening your chest while you press your feet into the mat. And then press back down dog. Right leg comes between the hands. Same thing on the other side. Inhale it all the way up. Exhale down. And then we're going to flex our front foot and bend our back leg. You'll feel a nice stretch down the back of your right side. And just bring your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Sweep the hands up. Reach them nice and high. And dive back down. Inhale, lift. And lengthen the back so you're just kind of like arching your back. And then the left leg comes back. Drop the knee, untuck those toes, and come all the way up. Hands touch or not. Bring them back down. Lift that leg off the ground and bring the right leg back to meet it. So you're landing in your plank pose again here. Drop the knees, drop the chest, and drop the chin, and then slither forward. Come all the way up into this cobra again. So you're really pulling your hands on the mat, opening up the chest, and giving a little arch in the lower back. And then press back into your down dog. And then the left leg comes between the hands. Drop the right knee all the way up into that lunge. Hands come down. Tuck the back toes. And now we're going to bend the back leg and flex the front foot. Little stretch here. And bring the right leg in to meet the left. Inhale, arch the back, and exhale, forward fold. And then roll it up one vertebrae at a time, all the way to standing. Arms come all the way out and back into namaste to your chest. Awesome. I just want you to meet me on the floor now for a little bit of stretching before we end the class. So we're going to do a simple forward fold here. I want you to get your body into an L shape. Once you get it into an L shape, you may actually feel a stretch behind your legs, and that may be enough. But we're going to take our flesh away from our sits bones. So we're really sitting up nice and high. And then bring the hands up, bring the shoulders down, and start to just forward fold. You're going to need to use your core strength here. And you're going to need to just forward fold as far as you can go. Now, when you're in your forward fold, I always say I never want you to think about getting your chin. Your chin will go into your chest, and you'll think about getting your forehead to your knees. A big crunched ball, that's not the forward fold that we're looking for. We want it to be nice and long and open. Your chest is open, has lots of integrity, lots of pride, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to look like anything special, but whatever you're doing, I'm sure you're feeling a nice stretch in the back of your legs, and that's what we're going for. Keeping that length in the upper body. So just reach with the hands out, pull the shoulders back and down, and breathe here. So it's a stretch, but it's also taking some core strength just to hold your body up, right? Nice deep breaths. If you want to drop your hands to your feet, you can. If you can reach your feet and you want to stretch out the tops of them, that always feels quite nice. Awesome. And then we're just going to roll back onto our backs. Let our knees come in and make some little circles with our knees. Last thing we're going to do is a little bridge. So press your heels into the mat and lift up through your glutes and your hips. And just lift up here. Squeeze your glutes, really activate them. Find that little bend in your back. Just a simple little bridge pose. The back of your neck is really nice and long, and I don't want you looking left or right ever when you're in a bridge pose or any kind of back bend. So just squeeze the glutes and then drop them all the way down. Now extend the left leg out and take the right knee and just bring it over your left leg for a nice spinal twist. Your right arm can come out to the right side, and you will definitely feel a nice spinal twist here. You might even get some back cracks. Enjoy what you get. We're just wringing out our spine. So that imagine that your knee is one side of a rag and your hand is the other, and you're just twisting it, squeezing out all those toxins. Switch sides. When you switch sides, you might have to just adjust your pelvis a little bit to make sure that it's back to being flat on the ground. And just twist. Simple, but wonderful and effective. And back to the center. And now you get to enjoy a little rest we call Shavasana. So everything just lies on the mat and you just let it go. It's actually like a corpse pose, and where we let gravity just sink us into our mats. I always like to remind my students of just relaxing their jaw and letting the tongue come off the roof of your mouth, because that will give your whole face and head an extra level of relaxation. So you did an amazing job. Thank you for joining me today. I have lots of classes on demand, and I'm glad that you brought yoga into your life today. Keep it up, and see you next time.